It was a Black Tuesday at the late hours of Nigeria's 64th Independence Day celebration as overcrowded boats with estimated 300 persons on board apparently and entirely without safety jackets capsized at River Niger upstream of Jebba Dam when the boat that was conveying the victims from Mundi village for Maulud celebration turned upside down at Gwajibo community in Mokwa local government area of Niger State. Local government authority in Mokwa Council area said over 60 persons were recovered from river lifeless by local divers who arrived at the scene of the accident earlier when the incident occurred. But the National Emergency Agency, NEMA, said only 16 persons were confirmed dead on Wednesday. But on Thursday, the agency said more 8 dead bodies were recovered from the river, bringing the NEMA figure to 24. NEMA in Niger State also stated on Wednesday that over 150 persons were rescued alive from the boat accident that reportedly occurred around 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. Over 300 persons were said to be on board the wooden boat when it capsized into the River Niger. Channels Television in a post few hours ago published a video it said it exclusively obtained in which faces of the apparent victims were seen in large overcrowded manner sitting inside a very long engine wooden boat. According to the TV station, the video was taken before the boat capsized. The video showed the boat users during the daytime. A statement issued by Abubakar Dakani, the press secretary to the council chairman of Mokwa local government, it was reported that over 300 passengers were on board when the boat capsized in Gwajibo community area of River Niger. Dakani said that the boat was en route from Mundi to Gwajibo for the annual Maulud celebration when the accident occurred. The press release also mentioned that Council Chairman Abdullahi Mureji confirmed the recovery of around 60 bodies, along with the discovery of 10 survivors, adding that rescue efforts are ongoing, in collaboration with the State Emergency Management Agency and local residents, to recover others who remain missing. In September 2023, a similar boat carrying over 50 passengers capsized, resulting in the deaths of 24 individuals who were on their way to harvest crops. The Director General of the Niger State Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Abdullahi Baba Ara, shared details about the accident. He explained that the boat was on the River Niger near the Jebba Dam when it capsized. The incident happened in the Gwajibo community in Mokwa at about 8:30 p.m. on Tuesday. The boat was returning from Mundi with almost 300 passengers, mostly women and children, who had attended a Maulid celebration. NEMA is working hard to find more survivors, teaming up with the State Ministry of Transport, local emergency committees, divers, and volunteers from the community. Thanks to their quick actions, over 150 people have been rescued so far. Just last week, the Deputy Governor of the state, Comrade Yakubu Gaba, mentioned that 182 people had lost their lives in boat accidents across Niger State over the past 3 years. He shared this during an event for World Maritime Day in Minna, where he also announced the distribution of 33 fiberglass boats to help make water travel safer. Niger State government has commiserated with the bereaved families, saying, the reoccurring rates of boat accidents in the state is worrisome. Niger State Governor, Farmer Mohammed Umaru Bago expresses sadness over the boat mishap that occurred on River Niger upstream Jebba Dam, at Gwajibo community of Mokwa local government area, which claimed lives of many people including women and children. The former governor, in a condolence message by his chief press secretary, Bologi Ibrahim, describes the incident as unfortunate and disheartening. He says the recurring cases of boat mishaps in the state over the past few years is worrisome, pointing out that government would redouble efforts to ensure strict compliance to safety measures to tame the ugly trend. The former governor, who sympathizes with the leadership and people of Mokwa local government area over the incident, also commiserates with the family of the victims. He prays that Allah will repose the souls of the departed, comfort the bereaved and grant quick recovery to those injured. It was reported that a boat conveying about 300 people, mostly women and children, was sailing from Mundi community for Maulud celebration, capsized on River Niger upstream Jebba Dam, at Gwajibo community, Mokwa local government area. The Niger State Emergency Management Agency, NSEMA, in collaboration with relevant MDRs, local divers and volunteers among others are carrying out search and rescue operations. About 150 people have been rescued alive so far, while 16 corpses have been recovered. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has asked Israeli residents to stand united following Monday and Tuesday missiles attacks by Iran, which on Monday, 2 suspected terrorists simultaneously went on a shooting spree in Jaffa area of Israel, killing over 8 persons, injuring about 16 persons, and Hamas has reportedly claimed responsibility for the attack. Hamas said the suspected the terrorists were its members. Reports from Israel on Tuesday indicated that Iran launched second direct attack on Israel and unleashed missile fury on Israel, wreaking massive havoc. Iran launched another cyber attacks on Israel for the second time this year following the killing of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah and Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh by Israel Defense Forces in Tehran, Iran and Beirut, Lebanon respectively. As the sky was illuminated with Iranian missiles on Monday, 2 suspected terrorists invaded Jaffa and opened fire on residents. During the missile attacks, Israel put up its anti-missile system and sounded sirens signaling its citizens to take shelter. Millions of Israelis ran into bomb shelters. Israel said it was beefing up its forces on the Lebanon border, as Hezbollah said it had pushed back Israeli troops from a border town, but recent video by Reuters showed Israeli troops at a location in Lebanon, but the time of the video recording and the exact location could not be verified. Iran's missile attack against Israel on Tuesday was said to be much larger than the one it carried out earlier this year in April. On Monday, a missile hit Tel Aviv as Iran fired a salvo of ballistic missiles at Israel on October 1 in retaliation for Israel's campaign in Lebanon. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Iran made a big mistake. The Israeli military said regular infantry and armored units were joining its ground operations in Lebanon, a day after Iran fired more than 180 missiles into Israel, a barrage which raised concerns that the oil-producing Middle East could be caught up in a wider conflict. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, at the start of the Security Cabinet meeting on Monday and Tuesday, sent condolences to families of those killed in Jaffa and sympathized with the wounded ones, saying, Israel is in the midst of campaign from evil axis. Details of Benjamin Netanyahu's speech, as reported by the Office of the Israel Prime Minister, are presented below. Citizens of Israel, at the start of my remarks, I send condolences to the families of those who were murdered in the abhorrent terrorist attack in Jaffa and my best wishes for a quick recovery to the wounded. As in the missile attack, there was also a murderous guiding hand behind this terrorist attack. It came from Tehran. This evening, Iran again attacked Israel with hundreds of missiles. This attack failed. It was thwarted thanks to Israel's air defense array, which is the most advanced in the world. I commend the IDF for the impressive achievement. It was also thwarted thanks to your alertness and responsibility, citizens of Israel. I also thank the US for its support in our defensive effort. This evening, Iran made a big mistake, and it will pay for it. The regime in Tehran does not understand our determination to defend ourselves and to exact a price from our enemies. Sinwar and Dave did not understand this, neither did Nasrallah or Mosul. Apparently, there are those in Tehran who do not understand this either. They will. We will keep to the rule we have determined. Whoever attacks us, we attack them. This is true wherever we fight the axis of evil. It is true in Judea and Samaria. It is true in Gaza, Lebanon, Yemen and Syria, and it is also true in Iran. We are fighting the axis of evil everywhere, including in southern Lebanon and Gaza, where our heroic soldiers are active. Today, more than ever, The forces of light in the world must unite and work together against the Ayatollah's dark regime, which is the source of terror and evil in our region. They must stand alongside Israel. The choice has never been more clear, between tyranny and freedom, between the blessing and the curse. On the eve of Rosh Hashanah, I say to you, citizens of Israel, Israel has the momentum and the axis of evil is in retreat. We will do whatever needs to be done to continue this trend. To achieve all of our war objectives, especially the return of all of our hostages, and ensure our existence and our future. A good and safe year to you all, citizens of Israel. We are in the midst of a campaign against Iran's axis of evil. Yesterday, I said that these were days of great achievements and great challenges. Great achievements because we eliminated Nasrallah and his senior command, as well as Hezbollah's plan to seize the Galilee. We are determined to return our residents in the north safely to their homes. But there are also great challenges. I ask of you two things. First, strictly follow the directives of Home Front Command. It saves lives. Second, stand together. Together we will stand steadfast in the trying days ahead of us. Together we will stand. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has stated before Nigerian lawmakers that the commission wrongly filed money laundering charges against a popular crossdresser, Idris Okuneye aka Bobrisky, because of his confessional statement. EFCC on Monday, while speaking before the Joint Committee of the House of Representatives investigating allegations of bribery and corrupt practices against some officials of the EFCC and Nigeria Correctional Service, following an audio voice message that appears to be the voice of Bobrisky that was made available to the public by an activist, Martins O'Shea Vincent aka Very Dark Man. EFCC said they initially thought that Bobrisky firm, Bob Express, was among the special kind of businesses and activities that are mandated by law to be registered with Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering, SCOM, due to Bobrisky's confessional statement. But the money laundering charges were dropped after EFCC wrote a letter of confirmation to SCOM, and the Special Control Unit wrote back to EFCC that Okuneye's firm, Bob Express, was not among designated non-financial institution, business and profession, DSNFIBP. It could be interesting to note that designated non-financial institution, business and profession, DSNFIBP, are kind of businesses and professional services often used by people to launder money abroad. The businesses and professions include casinos, entities that engage in gaming and gambling activities, which involve significant cash transactions. Real estate agents, professionals who deal with buying and selling of properties, often involving substantial amounts of money. Dealers in precious metals and stones, businesses that trade in high-value goods, which can be used to convert illicit cash into valuable assets. Lawyers, notaries, and other independent legal professionals, individuals who assist in buying and selling of property, managing client money, securities, and other assets, and other activities that may involve substantial value. Accountants, professionals who manage financial records and transactions, which can potentially be manipulated for money laundering. Trust and company service providers, entities that provide services related to the creation and management of companies and trusts. EFCC, in a news release some hours ago, said, a prosecutor with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Bilikisu Bala, on Monday, September 30, 2024, told a joint committee of the House of Representatives investigating allegations of corruption against some officers of the Commission and the Nigeria Correctional Service that charges of money laundering dropped in the trial of Idris Okuneye, aka Bobrisky, were lawful and in compliance with the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, ACJA. Bala, head of the prosecution team that handled the trial of Okuneye, pointed out to the committee that the charges were. Bala, head of the prosecution team that handled the trial of Okuneye, pointed out to the committee that the charges were dropped based on the disclosure of the Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering (SCOM) that Okuneye's firm, Bob Express, was not a designated non-financial institution, business and profession (DSNFIBP), and could not be prosecuted for flouting provisions of the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act, 2022. We initially raised 6-count charges bordering on naira abuse and money laundering against Okuneye based on his confessional statement that his firm, Bob Express, was not registered with SCOM and was not rendering returns to it. Counts 1 to 4 were on naira abuse, while counts 5 and 6 were on money laundering. Okuneye's confession that he didn't register his firm, Bob Express, with SCUML and not rendering returns to it informed the money laundering charges initially included in the 6-count charges. However, when we wrote to SCOM on the status of the firm, the unit responded that it was not a designated non-financial institution, business and profession, DSNFIBP. We cannot lawfully sustain the charges in all sincerity. We, therefore, dropped them and relied on the 4 counts on naira mutilation to which Okuneye had pleaded guilty, she said. The prosecutor dismissed claims of financial inducement in dropping charges, maintaining that no such thing happened. There is simply no basis for that. The Administration of Criminal Justice Act, ACJA, allows amendment of charges. It is a professional practice. It is laughable for anyone to attribute our decision to monetary issues. Why did we write to SCOM if we didn't want to include the charges? We wrote to be lawfully guided, and when the unit responded that the firm had not breached any law, on what basis should we have retained the money laundering charges, she said. Bala, who appeared before the committee with top management staff of the EFCC, charged the committee to critically look into all the issues raised against the EFCC and make public its findings in the interest of justice. Chief of Staff to the EFCC's chairman, Commander of the EFCC, CE Michael Anzekwe, who stood for the chairman, Ola Olukoyede, restated the seriousness the commission attached to integrity of its staff. We viewed the allegation of bribery against our officers seriously. Integrity is one of our core values. This is why we are here to place all the facts involved in the trial of Okuneye in the public domain, he said. Okuneye, an ex-convict, had alleged in a viral video that he offered 15 million naira as a bribe.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.